Right, but you've failed repeatedly doing the same thing over and over again, which is a combination of trying to bring together people in some sort of talks with a sort of imperfect ceasefire, and then when things go badly, you get really angry and accuse them of war crimes or crimes against humanity, and then nothing ever changes. You haven't succeeded once. You've talked about successes sometimes with Russia. You know, it looks to everyone else like tactical retreats or momentary pauses. So what are you doing differently to prevent more of the same?
Well, the failure is in the belief that this war can be solved militarily. And the failure is on Russia for not putting the proper pressure on the Assad regime to stop the brutality, the gassing, the surrender, the starvation of their own people. That's the real failure. The failure is on the part of the failure. Hang on a second, I'm not done. The failure is on the part of the regime and its backers, including Russia and Iran, for the way they continue to try to find a military solution to what should be a political one. That's the real failure here, and the Syrian people are the ones caught in the crossfire, quite literally. You talked about the United States failure. What I would say is the international community has remained focused on trying to bring about a better outcome in Syria. And yes, the United States is a leader in that effort.
You speak for the United States, and you have a specific, as the most powerful country in the world, have a specific responsibility in the world. And you can push that over to the international community.
I'm not.
The United States has failed in this. Do you disagree?
What I disagree with is where the failure lies. The failure lies on the part of the regime and its backers to act with any sense of moral standards for human behavior. That's the failure. That's the failure.
Yeah, but every time they do that, you reach out to them and try to engage them in a process.
Brad, let me finish. I'm not at all saying that we're content with what the results have been of better than 18 months of negotiation and discussions. If the Secretary would be the first to tell you that he's enormously frustrated that we are still where we are with respect to what's going on the ground in Syria. Nobody's happy about that. And would we have preferred that any number of the communiques that we negotiated with a UN Security Council resolution that was signed on by Russia as well would have led to a better, safer outcome in Syria? Absolutely. So nobody's happy about this. And I'm not pushing it off on the international community at all. I'm simply making the point that it's not just the United States that wants a political solution. And as I said yesterday, and I'll repeat it again today, we fully own the fact that we have been a leader in this effort. It was the United States who led the development of the ISSG. It was the United States who led the process to get us to a UN Security Council resolution. It was the United States that tried to lead both bilateral and then multilateral negotiations in recent weeks to try to bring about a ceasefire. Look, everybody's enormously frustrated about where we are. And nobody's happy, and that's why the Secretary is going to continue to work at it.
Let me ask my last question.
But lastly, your question, what are you going to do differently?
Yes.
That we're going to continue to try to get a political outcome that will serve the people of Syria. And what we're going to try to do is continue to prove the point that I think by different you mean military, that's not the right approach.
I didn't say military, so don't bring the straw man
approach
into this. I didn't say military, but if you have military options, I'd love to hear them.